Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for the weekend of March 7th, 8th, and 9th, 2014. I am Astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, this weekend I'm doing my big show spiritual house sessions, pulling tarot cards, doing the astrology, and mixing it all into an awesome house music mix. The live show is on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Do not miss it, spiritualdancemusic.com. And check out my show with Chris One Feather the week in advance. We gave so much information about this week. It is such an awesome show. Check out the links down below. And this weekend is really great. You know, we have the moon going to be in Gemini. There's a lot of stimulation, and we'll move into Cancer on Sunday. So there's a lot happening. Usually when there's a moon in Gemini, there's a lot happening. There's a lot of things to stimulate your energy. But this is also the first quarter square of the moon, which there's an awakening this weekend. And what are we awakening? Well, let's take a step back first. We have just stepped out of a huge transformational week. It's been a week of moving us into a new portal, changing the energy. And remember, we're in the sign of Pisces, a mutable sign, which means change. There's been a lot of change lately, and a change of perception. The universe has really engaged us into this new position. And this weekend, there's a lot of things to figure out. There could be a lot on our plate too. A moon in Gemini squaring the sun in Pisces. Ooh, trust me, you could get lost in so many things to do. Sometimes it's like, I did this and I did that and I went over here and I went over there and oh my gosh. But what this awakening is, we have these new visions. We have these fantasies. We have these communications coming from the other side of drawing us to an energy. The universe is flowing us into this certain direction. We need to logically make sense of it now. We've had a lot of our logical energy off for a while, and it's starting to come back online now that Mercury's coming out of its retrograde, now that Jupiter's back online, and more importantly, a moon in Gemini is about stimulation and wants to figure things out. You know, our emotions feel comfortable in knowing. Our emotions feel that they need to either communicate. This is a great weekend to start communicating with people, but more importantly, to logically understand what these signs are, to logically understand where this is all going. You know, one thing about Pisces is it can get real lost. Gemini does not like to be lost. Gemini is like total GPS, like I know exactly the coordinate of that number and that position in that direction, and the wind came from the right and the left, and you know, it knows and it processes it all. It's the calculator. And I think in our lives now, we are having to calculate and know where this is all going, where this new portal has gone. And this weekend, we start to figure this out. Venus is in Aquarius, and it's really stimulating. I think this is a great weekend for relationships and positive feelings really starting to be harnessed. The only difficulty with this weekend is if your calculator can't calculate what's going on. Maybe you're too lost. Maybe you're going to have to spend the time to process and start to give some calculations in what to do with this energy or how to make this dream possible. A lot of this, as well as we are in this big T-square. We've got Jupiter in Cancer, which has now gone direct, opening doors of our emotions, and more importantly, just overall, it's time to explore. The universe is giving us this opportunity now in our lives. But it's in a square with Pluto in Capricorn and Uranus in Aries. The universe is kind of at this black or white state. You see people doing really good, and then you see people doing really bad. It's really weird. You know, that's Saturn and Scorpio. But with this T-square, there's 3 huge planets in a huge, huge triangle configuration or a squared position, which is trying to pressure us into really being not only in our truth because Saturn's in Scorpio, but deeper in identifying correctly, whether that's your job, where you live, family situations, where you root your energy, whether that's, you know, you root your energy in drugs, or you root your energy in spirituality, or you root yourself in this energy. Our destinies are being very much plotted in very powerful positions right now with what we root our energy in, with what we identify ourselves. We're all putting on new masks, and the correct masks of who we are. But if those masks are not identifying correctly with who we are spiritually anymore, That's where I think this black and white energy comes in of like, oh, well, boom. The universe is going to do a big pressure to make sure you put the right mask on. So this is a time where dreams do come true. Powerful positions can step into your life now, but you've got to be wearing the right mask. You've got to be rooted in the right energy that goes with the destiny. If you're rooted in drugs, well, I guarantee you your destiny will probably be drug dealer, or, crazy things like that. If you're rooted in spirituality, I guarantee you probably will become a speaker, or maybe you'll run a church, or maybe, it's kind of simple. I mean, I'm going to be honest. The astrology is pretty simple. But we live in a world where we can get so caught up in the world and, oh, well, maybe it's got to be this way or that way. It's time to go deeper inside of yourself now. And this weekend gives you the ability to see what the other side has been directing you towards, what you know your truth is. Because on Sunday, the moon comes into Cancer, and there's this water trine that starts to happen, and our emotions really start to guide the way. But it is Friday and Saturday with the stimulation, the processing that needs to calculate what spirit has guided us, that needs to calculate where the river is flowing us, and not try and mentally stop that beautiful river the universe wants us to go down, but to figure out what to do with it. That's what this weekend's about. The moon will trine Mars, the moon will trine Mercury, and there's really a nice grand trine in air that I think we have an intellectual understanding of the little steps that we can take. And with Mars retrograde, actions are not, they've got to be properly weighed out now. And they need to be, coming from a place that's going to bring you inner peace and coming from a place of harmony and that aren't aggressive. This isn't a time to be super hard and aggressive. This is a time to understand, to go with the flow, and to make proper and, responsible actions in your life. Ones that will take, proper action, ones that will be based off your truth, that will be based in who you want to be. And this weekend, I think, is a really good understanding in what this has all been about, this portal opening in the right directions. And it's exciting, and it's really here for you now to stimulate your life, because the week that we're coming into is really positive. And I think that there's a lot of positive energy brewing right now for you. And I think things slow down Sunday. I think there'll be a lot of stimulation Friday and especially Saturday. But as Friday or Sunday comes, we veg and we come into our comfort zones and we really settle in our feeling after we've been trying to calculate and trying to understand this awareness that the universe has brought us into this new position, and what does it all mean? And it's time for you to answer all those questions in yourself this weekend. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you have any questions or if you want to have a one-on-one reading. Thank you so much for all of your support, and I will see you on Monday.